It is time that we do yet another ULTRAKILL related tier list that requires an ungodly amount of nonsensical mental gymnastics to make sense, or not make sense, whichever is valid. But this time we're not doing it for enemies. This time is gonna be a little different. This time because one guy commented or said it on my server, I don't remember. We are ranking ULTRAKILL levels based on how good of a nap you can take in them. Like this. The second I saw that, I thought that's hilarious, so I'm doing that. So we have pulled up another tier list not made by VM Squared. Instead it is made by TondarYZD, or however you say it. It has all their base ULTRAKILL levels in it, I think, even the encores. But I should give a disclaimer before we actually dive into this. Like, I'm not a diehard ULTRAKILL fan to have been waiting for the revamp update when it came out, so I've never actually had a proper session of playing all the levels in order to see what the Ultra revamp changed about every single one of them. So just take what I say with a grain of salt about whether you want to take a nap in them or not. But anyways, let's start. 01. It is the Prelude. Prelude in general gives me the vibe that it's kind of warm in there, which is nice. The first two levels look like they are warm, but the 3 and 4 and 5 are not so pleasant, kind of warm. They're really hot. I'm gonna give 01 a solid A because the surface on it is as solid as the A that I gave it. So it's not really that comfortable, but I don't really care much for the surface that I sleep on, to be honest. But sleeping on sheets of metal isn't gonna be particularly comfy for me. I feel like 02 also goes to the same spot as 01 because, well, everything's just kind of alright, but not perfect. Like the lighting, the weather in it, maybe. They're kind of A. They look like they are A. 03. Now, I would say that this goes in B because it is kind of bright in some places of it, not gonna lie. And also, all the noises of the factory stuff going on, all the machinery and shit, is gonna be a little noisy. Actually, no, I'm putting in C because I have now just thought of the noise. But 04 seems like and might actually be kinda hot and maybe too hot to take a nap in. So I'm also gonna put it in C. Or even D, maybe. If it's too hot around you, you're not gonna have the best nap. So that's why it goes in D. 05, dude, 05 looks like it is actually so hot. Also goes in D. Can't take a good nap in it at all. 0S is an immediate F, dude. I just feel like the thought of the thought of something that is constantly chasing you and looking for you in the dark and you can't do anything about is kind of terrifying, not gonna lie. I mean, the dark environment of it is really nice, but like, there's also something wicked always chasing after you, so no thanks. Would not take a nap in there. 0E, one moment is gonna be cold, the next moment is gonna be hot. I imagine that if the weather's kind of changing every few minutes or so, it's not gonna be very good. I mean, not that it's confirmed that that happens automatically, it only happens when we do something in the level ourselves as V1. But imagine if it was automatic. It would be not pleasant. So it goes in D. You would wake up in the middle of your nap. 1-1 is nice until you do anything that messes up with the delusions that Limbo puts up for you. Like, it's just a garden. It's a nice, green, and pleasant looking garden that you can most definitely take a comfortable nap in. So this goes in S, as long as you don't fumble your surroundings, I guess. 1-2 as well. Well, except for the hot part in the second half of it, that everything looks like it is burning. But other than that, yeah, this also goes in S. 1-3, I don't have any particular reasonings on why it would look like that you wouldn't have a good nap in it. It does have a couple sections that it has flower beds, which is cool and nice. Doesn't really have any good surfaces though. Like, okay, there is a red carpet you're seeing right there, so probably does go in S, because it doesn't have really anything too bad that would ruin your nap or anything at all. Even in the last room, as long as you don't do anything to wake the hideous mass in the last room, you're gonna be a-okay. 1-4 is the best, and I mean the best by far, to take a nap in, because it is actually nighttime and, well, you got a proper castle to sleep on. So what more could you ask for a nap? 1S I feel like is also S, because instead of doing puzzles, you can just take a nap in between them, or just sleep in general. 1E is horrible. It is horrible. Not because the map building is bad or any gameplay reason at all, but because at first it is very dark, and then the next there is a whole room that doesn't have a floor, and it is only lava as a floor. It is terrible. So for that reason, it goes an F. Especially the first half that is dark. It is spooky. 2-1. It is, first of all, nighttime, which is a good thing. But the fact that it's kinda have a lot of platforms is kinda not good. And certain towers that don't have any full floors on them, like they're all messy, you know? So this goes an A, because everything's kind of a platform there mostly. Maybe you would fall off to your death in your nap, I don't know. 2-2 actually also goes an S, because there are actual houses there, and most of them are not even occupied, so you can just walk into one and have a good nap. 2-3 actually has no houses. It is a factory, and a big factory, so wouldn't be really that good, but not too bad either. Maybe goes in B. Yeah, that's the first level that goes in B. 2-4, well, it's kind of abandoned until V1 moves in there. You can sleep on the train track. But if there is a big corpse always watching you in the last room, or maybe kill you in your nap, that's not so good. Or actually maybe B, because you could just go to the rooms that don't have the boss present in them, like the rooms that have the skulls in them instead. 2S is an actually normal world, right? Like your surroundings look normal, and Mirage looks like she's on her way to school, so nothing too dystopian happening. And I feel like it is an A, because, well, you can't really sleep on the road, can you, without any interruptions. 3-1, you are inside the stomach of a guy, or a big corpse, so no thank you, not sleeping there, never. It's got flesh, yucky. 3-2, same reason, and it has a noisy angel in it, so no thank you. P1, okay, so because you go through 3-1 to P1, you're still technically in the stomach of the big corpse, right? So yeah, for the same exact reasons as 3-1 and 3-2, it goes an F. Also because flesh prison exists. 4-1, the sun is shining right at you, so it's not gonna be good. You're gonna be sunburned. Unless you go somewhere that the sun doesn't shine. Unless you do that. Still, it's bad, because it has sand, and I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. So 4-2, the same exact reasons as 4-1. 4-3, okay, I could argue that 4-3 would be good, because you are inside of a temple, and around you is dark, which helps you take a nap. And the negative side of it, it is 4-3, one of the levels that I like the least, so goes in B. 4-4, I'm actually not sure. When we walk through the building in 4-4, we do see that sand has kinda gotten into it, and I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. So the building is gonna be sandy, and it's a long-ass pyramid if you wanna go down. Well, no, you wouldn't want to go down that way, because V2 would have to be there to break the wall for you, so that shouldn't really matter. But still, B tier. 4S. I actually see nothing wrong with 4S. Well, except for the room that has a giant Maurice chasing after you. Other than that, that room is kind of alright. But I'm gonna put it in a low tier just because I hate that level myself. I really don't like the controls of Clash mode in a level. Have I told you guys that I actually tried a video idea called ULTRAKILL, but I only play on Clash mode? I couldn't do that shit, so I just cut that out. I just cancelled the video because I didn't feel like getting used to the impossible controls. And it was on the standard difficulty. Like, I know when you turn on Clash mode and all levels are instantly, well, more like most of them are instantly compatible Clash mode because it has some sort of jumping pads or stuff. But the fact that you get one-shotted out of nowhere does not help you. It sucked, dude. It was bad. But anyways, moving on from that. 5-1. The surface of everywhere is gonna be kind of wet. In parts that are not flooded, that is. Like, it's an actual cave. And I don't think sleeping in a cave is gonna be good. 5-2 is still everywhere gonna be wet because it's always raining unless you go inside a cabin, and there are actually some cabins in it, so if you go in those, it's actually pretty good. It's gonna be really pleasant because taking a nap in rains is really good. 5-3 is like a ship that you can actually live in, right? So as long as it doesn't just crash and flood and turn upside down like how it does when we pick the rocket launcher, I don't see why you can't take the best nap in your life in it. 5-4 is nowhere pleasant at all. You start in under the ocean, and even if you do manage to get up the surface as a normal human, there's gonna be like only pieces of wood. You're gonna have some boards, wet boards as your surface to sleep on, and I don't imagine that's pleasant at all. And it's under the rain, so it's not good. Now 5S, fishing can be quite boring if you don't get any catches, and that helps you in getting tired enough to sleep. And it does have a house for you to specifically take a nap in, so I'm gonna put it an S. It is good. 6-1 is all red, and other than it being red, it's also not pleasant at all because there's gotta be blood everywhere, so I'm thinking it goes in C. It's gonna be mid. You're gonna have a mid nap. 6-2, same shit, except there's Gabriel. Gabriel's playing piano there. So maybe 6-2 goes in a little higher than 6-1 because there is kind of music going on there. P2, you're gonna get eaten alive if you step there with the enemies. But we haven't been considering enemies thus far. So it does have actual houses. It takes place in a city. So you can't just walk into a house. Sure. S71 starts with a very bright garden, and I mean very bright. So only if you got those covers for your eyes when you want to sleep, then that would be quite good to sleep in. So I'm gonna put it in A because it has conditions. 7-2 is in the middle of a war zone. That's bad. As someone who has actually experienced having somewhere near the place bombed, that wouldn't let you sleep. So I'm putting an F tier. 7-3, it is still kind of a garden, but very dark, and sometimes lightnings occur and you hear them, so sometimes you're gonna wake up from your nap without you wanting that, so I'm gonna put it in D. 7-4 I imagine is absolutely horrifying if you see a Benjamin in real life, unless you're a citizen that Benjamin is supposed to let you live on. It goes in A tier because the thing moves, and I don't think it's not gonna be shaky. 7S is a library. As long as you don't make noises, it's fine, so it goes in S. And this concludes all the levels, and this is the list, everybody, of ultra kill levels based on how well I can take a nap in them. I am going to post this on my Discord server to get a couple fire reactions and maybe even base reactions, because that most definitely has any value. But anyways, if you got this far in this video, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, or maybe even comment or subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.